All right, so we're going to go over mixed and improper fractions. We'll add it to your table of contents here in a second. And this should be just an easy review from last year, because I know this is something you guys practice quite a lot in 4th grade. Write this down so y'all can see. Okay, so just to review, this is a mixed fraction, right? This fraction shows that I have 2 wholes of something and then 3/4 of something. If I wanted to represent 2 3/4, I could draw you a picture. Rectangles are usually pretty easy to whip out. Pretend they're all the same size. Oopsie. So I have 2 and then 3/4. Does everybody agree?
Yeah.
Easy peasy. Well, when we want to convert 2 3/4 to an improper fraction, what are we doing when we create an improper fraction? Yeah.
We are taking the 2 and separating it so it's greater than the denominator.
That's really close. So she said separating the 2 so it's greater than the denominator. You're really close. Any other ideas about what we're doing? You're kind of on the right track, almost there. Okay. You guys have done this before, right?
Yeah.
They call it the Texas method. You guys that are from other states that just moved here, you probably haven't heard it called that before, but the teachers in 4th grade call it the Texas method. Most teachers do. So it creates this little TX here with the plus and the multiplication, multiplication symbol. So we're doing 4 times 2 first, which is 8, and 8 plus 3, which is 11. 11/4. Give me a thumbs up if that looks familiar to you. You remember how to do this from last year. Good. So my question is, what are we doing when we do the Texas method? If you're thinking we're multiplying and adding, put your hands down, because I know we're multiplying and adding. What are we really doing? Addison?
Getting rid of the whole number?
We're getting rid of the whole number. Are we getting rid of it? Am I taking these 2 things and throwing them in the trash?
No.
No. Somebody else have another idea? Elise?
You're separating them?
Separating them into what?
4.
Good. So I'm taking these 2 whole, let's pretend they're Hershey bars. Everybody loves chocolate. I'm taking these 2 and I'm splitting them into 4ths. Did I change the number of candy bars I had? No. Did I add anything or take anything away? No, I just took my knife and I cut these. So now I have all the same size pieces. So if I count these pieces here, how many am I going to have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So I'm really taking those 2 wholes and splitting them up into 4ths. So now I've taken 2 3/4 and I've split the 2 wholes into 4ths, so I have all the same size pieces. Could I divvy these up now if I wanted to?
Yeah.
Yeah, much easier. Hard to divide 11 evenly, but you guys get the picture. So when you're changing a mixed fraction to an improper fraction, this is what you're doing. I'm creating 11 pieces that are 1/4 each. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay. So the other thing that we do quite a lot, a whole lot, and you'll also do it a whole lot in 6th, 7th, and 8th grade because I've been doing it with my middle school friends, is change improper fractions to mixed. Raise your hand if you had a teacher last year that taught you my ice cream trick. A couple of you? Good. Okay. Y'all have heard this before. I showed a couple of the teachers last year this, but I want to teach it to you guys that haven't seen it before. So this is actually, I can't take credit for this trick because it's a middle school teacher's trick, but it works really well for changing your fractions. So let's say I take 5/8 plus 7/8. Can I add these two fractions together?
Yeah.
Why?
Because they both have the same denominator.
They both have the same denominator. The pieces are all the same size. So this means I've got a green light to go ahead and add these up together. So what would I add together? Somebody else.
7 plus 5.
Yeah. Am I ever going to add the 8 plus 8, guys?
No.
No, 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 no. If you ever try to add that 8 plus 8, I will... We don't do that. That's what my 3rd graders used to do when I taught 3rd grade. We never add the denominators. I always tell kids to remember this. The denominator dominates. He always stays the same. We're not going to change him. Do not change him. He gets to stay just the way he is. Don't change him, okay? So we got this. So we can add the 5 plus 7. You guys all agree? Let's go ahead and do it. 5 plus 7 is 12. Good. So I've got 12/8. This is called an improper fraction. His head is too big. He can't walk around like that. He's going to fall over. We need to balance him back out by creating a mixed number. So the way that I teach kids to do this, and it's super easy once you get the hang of it. If I have 12/8, I'm going to turn it into an ice cream cone. Here's my ice cream cone. Everybody loves ice cream, right? So at your house, where's the ice cream at? In the freezer. So we're going to put the ice cream in the freezer and we're going to shut the door because we don't want Mom to come after us and find us, right? They don't like it when you leave the freezer open. Everything gets all soggy and yucky. It's a big, big mess, okay? So we're going to put the ice cream in the freezer and we're going to shut the door. Do the ice cream cones need to go in the freezer? No, not unless you're my Nana and you've kept the same cones for over 5 years. Be careful of the cookies in the freezer. You don't know when she made them. So we need to see how many times 8 can go into 12. That's easy. Once. We're going to divide like we normally do. 12 minus 8 is 4. Your remainder becomes your numerator and your denominator dominates. He always stays the same. Your remainder is what becomes your numerator in your new mixed fraction. But now I've got another problem, and since we practiced this all week, you should see it. Can I leave 4/8 4/8? No. When do we simplify fractions in 5th grade? All the time. All the time. Not just when the directions say so. So if I look at 1 and 4/8, I can divide 4 by 4 and 8 by 4, and I get 1 and 1/2. Ta-da!